regular face on this channel, joining us this morning. And he's going to be joined much later by a professor of pastoral agronomy and forage utilization from FUNAB here in Abeokuta. But for now, we have Barrister Bamola in the studio. Good morning, Barrister Bamola.
Good morning, anchors, and good morning, viewers.
Good to have you join us. Barrister Bamola, we want to look at, because the issue of restructuring has been, should I say, overused, you know, and maybe overanalyzed too. But Nigerians really want to know, what will restructuring bring to us, especially from the point of view of, you know, of it giving regional, you know, components of this country, the powers, economic powers, to actually develop and harness their potentials for the national development of the country?
Well, let me start by saying the word restructuring, or to restructure. It means there is a structure on ground, and that structure has some problems, or that structure has foundational problems. Then, of course, structure itself is talking about constructing an object or a building with many parts. So that is structure. Then when you are not talking about restructure or to restructure or restructuring, which is a continuous process, you are now looking at the entire structure. You are saying the structure you have on ground, number one, maybe it does not defeat the purpose of the present. Maybe that structure is not serving the purpose or the main reason why that structure was put there. We can't discuss restructuring or to restructure without looking at the foundation of the entity now called Nigeria. And I will use enough time to give us the background of the structure that we have and why we need to restructure. Of course, every student of history will remember that between 1860, when Lagos was attacked under Kosoko, and by 1861, Lagos was annexed. We normally say in A-level government or element of policy, we say annexation of Lagos. The British, the colonial masters, they came with the mindset of trade ab initio, and they also came with religion. Okay? Two colonizers. By 1884 to 1885, there was Berlin Conference, where the colonial masters, the Portuguese, the French people, the British, divided the West Africa among themselves. And of course, we know Britain took Nigeria and some other countries like Ghana, other West African countries. And by 1889, of course, we know that the Royal Niger Company took over the administration of the economy, because you mentioned economic restructuring too. And Lord Lugard came and took over. By 1899, just a year to 1900, we had Northern Protectorate. We had Southern Protectorate. Of course, Lagos was made a colony in 1863, after annexation in 1861. And by 1906, this is where the problem started from. If you do not address the foundation, even if everybody is talking about restructuring now, we will still have structural problem. By 1906, the Northern Protectorate, the Southern Protectorate, and the Lagos colony, they were merged together. And from there, the girlfriend of Lord Lugard, by 1914, said, okay, people from the upper Niger and the lower Niger, what name should we give them? Let us call them Niger area, Nigeria. So by 1914, both the north, different people. The south, of course, different people. We have people from the southeast, the south-south, the southwest. We have people from the middle belt. They were all merged together, 1906, 1914, amalgamated. And by 1922, we had the first constitution in Nigeria that is generally called Clifford Constitution of 1922, which introduced suffrage introduced election into Nigeria. And of course, every student of history will tell you that the first political party, NNDP, was formed in 1923. And we had general election, 3 seats in Lagos, 1 in Calabar. We move on until the Richard Constitution of 1946, which brought regionalism to Nigeria. Of course, no independence by that time. Richard Constitution introduced regional government, the northern region, the western region, we have even the eastern region. Then agitations, you know, the elite, some of our people who study abroad, who might have seen what is happening in democratic setting, agitation started. And by 1951, Matheson Constitution came, and that was the time the action group was formed by our late father of, let me say, civilization, Nigerian civilization or political civilization. Then the Northern Progressive Congress too was formed 1950 under the Matheson Constitution 1951. Then by 1954, federalism that everybody is talking about today, federalism was introduced by the Littleton Constitution of 1954. Then, serious agitation, the London Constitutional Conference of 1957, the likes of Obafemi Awolowo, late Baba, Anthony Enahoro, and many others said the southern Nigeria should have self-government by 1959. The northern people from the north said no, we were not mature for self-government. And they had about 3 constitutional conference, and by 1957, after that constitutional conference, of course, agitation for independence happened, and we had Nigerian independence in 1960 under a different constitution called the Westminster Constitution. What am I trying to bring out? The foundation of Nigeria that was laid by the colonial master was one-sided, in the sense that people from different backgrounds, in fact, late Chief Obafemi Awolowo described what happened in Nigeria as the marriage of uncommon fellows, marriage of people from different backgrounds, different belief, different ethnic orientation, different educational orientation. And from 1960 independence constitution that we call Westminster Constitution, we had our Republican Constitution of 1963. And of course, we all remember what happened when the present problem that we are experiencing now happened. Then some tribes were having dominance over other tribes.
But even at that,
I'm coming, sir. Yeah. Okay, let me allow you, sir.
Yeah, even at that, we have also seen that even with those divisions.
Yes, sir.
They also regional regional divisions. There are potentials.
Very well.
The Southwest have their potentials.
Very well.
Southeast have their potentials.
Very well.
South.
Very well.
The Northeast, Northwest, and all of them have their potentials.
Very well.
So what has been wrong? Why is it that as a country we've not been able to harness these various potentials for common goal?
And that is where I'm coming to. Under the Republican Constitution, of course, the West, the Southeast, North, everybody, what we had then under Republican Constitution was a sort of people, of course it was a federal government, federalism, but the regions had power to develop, had the resources to develop what they had. Of course, we know Cocoa help us here. The problem we are having today, sir, why there should be restructure? Because the structure, I have to start from the foundation, and when the foundation is very, very bad, the structure on top for sure will collapse. And from 1963, we know what the Civil War came, 1970, for instance, now, after the Civil War, the Southeast, the people called the Igbos, we are bound to quarrel, we are bound to disagree. But after that disagreement, when we settle, we should reconcile, we should come back together. Between 1970 till date, nobody from the East, nobody among the Igbo tribe, of course, some argumentators argue that Jonathan Ebele is an Igbo man, which is a blatant lie in order to deceive the people. The people from the East have not been allowed to taste power at the national level. How do I mean? Presidency of Nigeria. And by 1979 constitution that introduced presidential system of government, we were thinking that under such constitution, there should be equity and fairness.
But without an Igbo president, does that stop the economic powers and potentials of the Southeast?
I will come to that.
Yeah.
I'll come to that. I want us to address the constitutional fallacy before we go into other things.
Okay.
Because if we have a constitution that emphasizes true federalism, a federalism in which the central will not be too powerful, in which the regional states or sub-states will be able to control their resources, will be able to pay something like royalty to the central. That is the type of federalism that should be emphasized by our constitution. Let me not stop here without addressing the foundational problem, which is our constitution. The 1999 constitution that was imposed on us by the military created the highest fallacy in the structure of Nigeria. And of course, from that 1999 constitution, we all know the problem that resource control is not there. You have something, Lagos, they have breweries, they have seaport, have some activities. Money coming from Lagos State alone will go to the federation account. Money from Ogun State will go to the federation account. And there is a state in the north that says alcohol is forbidden. If you take alcohol, your arm will be amputated. Then we share the resources together. The Commonwealth. What we are saying is that the lacunas, the problem created by the 1999 constitution, those problems must be addressed.
Before we can actually advance.
Before we can actually arrive at where we should be. Because we are not at where we should be now. And that's why people calling for restructure. The first thing that will happen if we are going to have correct, with good intent restructuring is constitutional restructuring. And constitutional restructuring cannot take place without constitutional amendment. A constitution does not allow the governor to have power over the commissioner of police in his state. A constitution, some people have, I don't want to digress, some have been arguing rotational presidency, whether this, whether, let me not take much of time, because I know, I trust you guys. You have many questions.
Nobody wants to come in.
Well, in the course of the conversation, you will still actually delve into areas that we need to restructure in terms of constitutional restructuring. But let us also look at what you said at the beginning.
Yes.
You talked about the fact that the bringing or the merging of Nigeria, or of the southern and the northern protectorates to be Nigeria, it was a marriage of strange fellows.
Very well.
Now, we have seen marriages, normal human marriages, and then they ended up having blissful, wonderful, fantastic union.
Yes.
Now, are we saying it is because of our differences, the differences in tribe, ethnicity, religion, and the rest of them between the North and the South? Are we saying that these differences will definitely make us not to have blissful union as a nation? Now,
let me address it this way. We have seen situations in which the black will marry to the white, okay, or even intertribal marriages in Nigeria. What will bring peace into such a relationship is the essence of dialogue. Sitting together, how can we live together as one? Now that we have been married together. Yes, colonial masters married us together. It's possible for a parent, a father, to recommend a very good lady to the son and say, okay, although you have not known her from Adam, be together. But the couple will now come together and sit. How do we manage our affair? What we are now saying is that we are not saying that the North should go, the East should go, the West should be on their own. Of course, if anybody is saying that,
some people are saying that.
Some people are saying that, but those who are saying that, let me call their attention to something. How many countries are we going to have in Nigeria? Nobody should think that what happened in USSR, that they have over 20 countries, will be workable in Nigeria. We are not saying, I am not an advocate of having different, no. I am not a separationist. My advocate is that if we are going to continue as an entity, let us sit down together and address how that continuation would take place.
Okay, sorry, Barrister Bamola. We'll take this short break, and when we return, we'll continue to look at. Bamola has actually given us a very strong framework to continue our discussion. He's giving it because as a lawyer, you need such legal point of view, to actually draw your next line of thoughts, and that's what he has given us. When we return, we'll take it up from there. Stay with us.
Yes. One day as I did dab, they go. Now I see my neighbor on top electric pole. Don't be how my hold so.
Before, so
climb every day. Come on, electric bill. You not gree pay.
Waiting concern you for there. I beg you, come over here.
Government property, now my property. If you don't come down now, I go report.
Don't be only report. Now report card.
Okay. Oh. Dab 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 dab.
Make una no sit down look o.
As Muslim faithful welcome the holy month of Ramadan, your darling station OGTV is calling on sponsors for special programs lined up to edify and uplift the spirit, soul and body during the holy month. Programs such as Al-Quran Liakim or Baonibu